It has served in 2 world wars. It is the most copied handgun in history. The 1911.
While modern guns are made of plastic, this weapon is forged from heavy, unforgiving steel.
Welcome inside the factory, where craftsmanship meets heavy industry.
The journey begins with a solid billet of 416 stainless steel. It weighs 5 pounds.
This block will become the slide, the moving upper part of the gun that handles the explosion.
We load it into a 4-axis CNC mill. The cutters spin at 12,000 RPM.
It doesn't slice the metal, it tears it away. Chips of steel fly like confetti.
First, the internal rails are cut. These must be perfectly parallel, or the gun will jam. Next, the ejection port, the window where the empty shell escapes. Finally, the serrations, the grip texture on the back of the slide.
After 45 minutes of machining, the 5-pound block now weighs just 12 ounces.
But it is rough. It has tool marks. It needs to be smoothed by fire and stone.
While the slide is being cut, we move to the frame, the lower half of the gun that you hold. For the highest quality 1911s, we don't just cut the steel, we forge it.
A 2,000-ton drop hammer smashes the red-hot steel into a die.
This aligns the grain structure of the metal, making it incredibly tough. The rough forging is cooled, then loaded by an East Asian male worker into another CNC machine to clean up the edges.
At this stage, the steel is still soft. If you fired it now, the explosion would rip it apart. It needs heat treatment.
They are baked at 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit for hours, changing the molecular structure of the steel.
Then, the shock. The oil quench. We test the hardness using a diamond-tipped indent machine. It must register exactly 40 on the Rockwell C scale.
Next, the barrel, the funnel for the bullet. It starts as a solid rod of stainless steel.
A gun drill bores a perfect .45 caliber hole down the center.
To make the bullet spin, we cut rifling using a broach, a long tool with progressively larger teeth.
The interior is inspected with a borescope. It must be a mirror.
The machines have done their job. Now, the craftsmanship begins. The parts are covered in microscopic ridges from the cutters.
To make it beautiful, we must remove metal. A master polisher takes the frame to the sanding belt.
He blends the curves by eye. If he pushes too hard, the gun is ruined. If he pushes too soft, it remains rough.
Next, the most critical step for a 1911, slide to frame fit. We don't want it loose like a rattle. We want it tight like a bank vault. We use lapping compound.
The grit grinds the two parts together, marrying them perfectly. They become a single unit.
Listen to the sound. No rattle, just a solid click-clack. Now for the jewelry. The hammer and the sear. These tiny parts control the explosion.
The hammer is skeletonized. Holes are drilled into it to make it lighter.
A lighter hammer moves faster. This reduces lock time, the delay between pulling the trigger and the bullet firing.
The trigger itself is aluminum. It is adjustable. The gunsmith uses a tiny Allen key to turn a screw inside the trigger face. He is setting the over travel.
Finally, the front strap. We cut checkering into the metal grip so it doesn't slip in a sweaty hand.
The metal work is done, but it is too shiny.
It will reflect sunlight. It needs a finish.
A shiny gun is a dangerous gun. Reflection gives away your position. We need to get a matte finish.
The glass beads bombard the surface, removing the shine and creating a non-reflective satin texture.
Now, the blacking. We use DLC, diamond-like carbon. It is vaporized onto the metal in a vacuum chamber.
This coating is harder than the steel itself. You can scratch it with a knife, and the knife will dull before the gun scratches.
The parts are ready. The master gunsmith begins the final assembly. It is a puzzle with 50 pieces.
First, the trigger is slid into the frame. Then the magazine catch.
He installs the sear spring, a 3-fingered leaf spring that controls the trigger pull weight. The 1911 is famous for its safeties. We install the grip safety on the back of the handle. The beaver tail-shaped part is pinned in.
Unless your hand squeezes this part, the gun physically cannot fire. It is a century-old fail-safe.
Next, the thumb safety. It must click on and off with authority.
Now, the grips. We use G10 composite, indestructible and textured for maximum friction. Finally, the marriage. The barrel is dropped into the slide, and the heavy recoil spring is compressed.
It looks perfect. But does it work? We perform a function check.
Now, we feed it. We load the magazine with .45 ACP ammunition, a heavy, slow, hard-hitting round.
We take it to the test range. No machines here. Just a man and a target at 25 yards.
Contact.
We check the accuracy. 5 shots. They should form a group the size of a coin.
To prove the reliability, we perform a torture test. High-speed cameras capture the mechanics underwater.
This proves the extraction and ejection are flawless. The gun will not jam when you need it most.
Back at the bench, the gun is cleaned, oiled, and placed in a custom canvas bag.
It started as a 5-pound block of steel. It is now a masterpiece of engineering.
Reliable, powerful, timeless. The 1911 is ready for another century of service.